If you're a fan of horror, then you've most likely seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's one of those films that feels like a rite of passage for horror fans. If you can get through that movie, you can get through most horror films. And it's because it serves as an endurance test for some and an inspiration for others that it is probably my favorite horror movie of all time. I imagine documentarian Alexandre Philippe thinks so too. He sat down with a handful of talented folks from various corners of the filmmaking industry and edited it together to make Chain Reactions, an excellent documentary about why the Texas Chainsaw Massacre affects us so much. Chain Reactions is in select theaters now and will expand to more theaters on September 26th from Dark Sky Films. It's directed by Alexandre Philippe and starring Patton Oswalt, Takashi Miike, Alexandra Heller Nicholas, Stephen King, and Karyn Kusama. A group of cinephiles, Patton Oswalt, Takashi Miike, Alexandra Heller Nicholas, Stephen King, and Karyn Kusama talk about how Tobe Hooper's horror epic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, influenced them personally and creatively in this fascinating set of interviews pieced together by Alexandre Philippe, the documentarian behind Doc of the Dead, 78/52, and The People vs. George Lucas. I'm one of those cinephiles who love to watch the special features on DVDs, even for bad movies. It helps me as a viewer to understand not only what went on in the making of the film, but where those devious ideas originally came from. That's why I have an expansive DVD Blu-ray collection to this day, and why most likely I'll never get rid of it. I have an unquenchable desire to learn not only about horror films, but about what makes them work, not work, and where these horrifying ideas come from. The film does a wonderful job of splicing interviews with footage from the film, as well as clips from other films referenced in the interviews. For all involved in the interview process, there is nary a negative word said about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Instead, one can tell this is a film made by people who love the movie, with interviewees who love the movie just as much. You'll hear fun stories about each interviewee's first contact with the film, as well as their first reactions and how each subsequent viewing sat with them. You'll hear funny anecdotes from Patton Oswalt, who offers up his comic wit to the terror a young geek kid gets from seeing this movie for the first time. You'll see the notorious filmmaker Takashi Miike himself, responsible for some of the most heinous scenes in film history, reminisce about how he intended to go see Charlie Chaplin's City Lights one afternoon, but ended up seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre instead. You'll see Karyn Kusama talk about the film being a stark reflection of American society. You'll also see award-winning critic Alexandra Heller Nicholas discuss how the film called to her and how it resonated so much with her. And you'll see Stephen King take a break from being on social media for a minute and talk about how making horror is about crossing barriers and breaking boundaries. I would love to see another movie set with interviews with another group of people talking about the history of Hooper's classic film. That's how good this film really is. It's one of the few movies that I am not only curious about it, but how other people reacted to it. Personally, I remember watching Terror in the Aisles as a kid, and while it served as a wonderful checklist of films I wanted to see, the one I needed to see the most was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Honestly, I remember the sequence featuring Leatherface from Terror in the Aisles more than I do my first viewing of the film. No matter how many times I see it, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of those movies that I can never get enough of. I see new things every time I watch it. The movie is such a kaleidoscope of different horror sights, sounds, and primal feelings. I simply love Chain Reactions, and if you love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then this is going to be one you won't want to miss. This is a very fun documentary, and I'd love to see more like them reacting to first-time viewings of other iconic horror films. How about you? When did you see Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time, and how did it sit with you? Let me know down in the comments. Please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're